So here we are, less than 24 hours away from the US presidential election. And congratulations, America. This is your choice. Now, I'm not going to give you a rundown of the pros and cons of each candidate because you probably know that already, and the vast majority of American voters have already made up their minds by now. And who cares what an Australian thinks anyway? I mean, I have about as much impact on this election as a Republican voter in California, or a Democratic voter in North Dakota. So let's instead just have a look at where the polls are right now and what that says about each candidate's chances. So all the figures I'm about to quote come from the website 538. And as you can see, they're currently forecasting a 65% chance of a Hillary Clinton win and about a 35% chance for Donald Trump. Now, it should be said that Donald Trump's chances were closer to just 12% 2 weeks ago, but the probability is less important than where candidates actually stand in the Electoral College. So as you know, to win, a candidate must get 270 Electoral College votes. So if we use the map from 538 and tally all the votes in the red states for Trump and all the votes in the blue states for Hillary, then Hillary wins with 279 to 259. But of course, there are a number of states that are too close to call at this stage, most notably Florida, North Carolina, and Nevada. But the bad news for Trump is that he must win all those states, and even then, in the absence of an upset, he'll still lose 273 to 265. There is also a small chance of a tie. If Trump wins all the aforementioned states, Florida, North Carolina, and Nevada, and New Hampshire, which at the moment is within the margin of error. But to win, Trump would actually need to win a state where he has an outside chance, like Pennsylvania or Colorado. So in the absence of a major upset, Trump's path to victory is very narrow. Clinton, on the other hand, can lose the three most hotly contested states, Florida, North Carolina, and Nevada, and she'll still win. Now, Trump is about 3 points behind in the polls, so you might ask yourself, have the polls ever got it that wrong before in a presidential election? Well, it turns out they have, although the margin of error has averaged about 2 points in every presidential election since 1968, and half of those elections, the margin of error was less than 1 point. The outliers include 1980, 1996, and 2000. So in 2000, for example, George Bush led Al Gore by about 3 percentage points and ended up losing the popular vote but winning the Electoral College. So a Trump win is not out of the realm of possibility. But if early voting is any indication, he could be in a lot of trouble. In Nevada, where 70% of voters voted early in 2012, Democrats have a 6-point lead. And in Florida, the early Hispanic vote is up 100% on 2012 numbers. Now, early voting numbers need to be treated with caution, but if that Hispanic vote puts Clinton comfortably in the lead in Florida early on Tuesday evening, then you can call it for Clinton. Now, I think Hillary Clinton's track record of lies, incompetence, and corruption make her unfit to be president. But then Donald Trump hasn't demonstrated that he's fit either. If I were an American, I don't think I could bring myself to vote for either of the major candidates. But if I had to vote one way or the other, I think I might heed the words of Thomas Sowell, who said in a recent interview when asked about the election, quote, "My preference would be to leave the office vacant for 4 years. Unfortunately, that's not one of the options that we have. I think it's going to be dangerous, not merely bad, if either of them becomes president. The question is, where is the danger the greatest and, more importantly, the most long-lasting?" And I think that even though Donald Trump has no coherent vision that looks that promising, Hillary Clinton does have a coherent vision, and it's a world which she can, by determining who's on the next Supreme Court for the next 50 years, law in America can be undermined. The First and Second Amendments we can write off if she's allowed to put a majority on that court. And so long after, whether it's Clinton or Trump, long after they leave office, the people they put on the Supreme Court will be a legacy for the next generation, and perhaps the end of constitutional law in this country. And on that basis, I would vote against Hillary Clinton.